Are you valiant enough to defeat a new trio of Nod-Krai local legends? In this video, I will help you find these legendary enemies, share tips on earning all medals, and suggest teams that you can use to defeat them. First is Hexadecatonic Mandagora, who is located on the shore to the left of Pyramida. Mandagora switches between two stands. In the first one, it has a gauge that goes down on its own with time, but you can speed the depletion up with frequent elemental application and reactions. After the gauge is filled, Mandagora leaves the stage and summons tiny spores. You have a specific time window to defeat them, and doing so damages the parent Mandagora too. After the time is over, Mandagora emerges from the ground, and the gauge starts again. The fight keeps cycling between these two stages. 3 medals that you can earn in Valiant Chronicles for Hexadecatonic Mandagora are as follows: 1 for defeating it for the first time, 1 for defeating Mandagora when it fell to the ground, and 1 for clearing all spores when they are summoned for the first time. To earn the second medal, you need to clear the majority of the spores before defeating the Mandagora. Doing so makes him fall upon emerging from the ground, and after some of its attacks. Time your last burst of damage during the brief moment of Mandagora lying down on the ground to tick this goal off. For the third medal, you need to fully clear the spores the first time they are summoned. To check that you've done it correctly, look for green energy balls that fly back to parent Mandagora if there are spores left at the end of their stage. The spores are very bouncy, so it would be easier to deal with them by bringing characters capable of crowd control and AoE damage, and avoiding single target characters. In terms of elements, the fight is quite flexible, but stay away from Overlord teams specifically to not throw the spores around, and Dendra teams, as Mandagora has a pretty high resistance to it. Since there are no time restrictions for the full fight, it's quite doable even with a team of 4 stars. I have used the combination of Sucrose and Aoife to keep spores gathered, and hit them together with Electrocharge reaction. Besides, Aoife's skill allows him to avoid most of Mandragora's attacks. As long as you can successfully clear the spores for the first time they are summoned, and topple Mandragora before dealing the last burst of damage, you'll get all 3 medals. Next is Hiljetta. This feisty babushka is located to the east of Reed Miller's Island. During the fight, she is capable of summoning armor that increases her damage. To stop her from doing this, you need to use either freeze reactions or overload on the armor pieces that she summons. The medals that you can earn in Valiant Chronicles for Hiljetta are as follows: 1 for defeating her for the first time, 1 for triggering frozen reaction when Hiljetta is summoning her armor, and 1 for defeating Hiljetta before she summons her battle armor for the 3rd time. The second medal forces you to bring a team with at least 1 Hydra and 1 Cryo character. The 3rd medal is essentially a DPS check, since Hiljetta will start summoning her armor after a set time since the beginning of the battle. Freeze teams are the most comfortable option, with Melt followed second, assuming you can find a slot for a Hydra character. However, if you lack team options, you can tackle the challenges in separate attempts. The second medal only requires you to stop her using the frozen reaction, and for the 3rd medal you can bring your stronger team, either Overlord or any archetype, since you can ignore her charging the armor completely, and use shields or out-heal the damage instead. Last legend is the Homesick Lone Wolf. He is located to the west of the Lightkeeper statue of the New Moon. Just keep to the left of the trail to find him. Just like Hiljetta's, his fight is timed. For his gimmick, he summons a shielded ancestral wolf spirit. You have to swirl Pyro or Electra to deplete the shield. While ancestral wolf spirit is present, the lone wolf has higher resistance, and if you take too long clearing the spirit, they will start attacking you in tandem. After a wolf spirit is defeated, lone wolf will get incapacitated for a short time period. The medals that you can earn in Valiant Chronicles for the Homesick Lone Wolf are as follows: 1 for defeating him for the first time, 1 for breaking Ancestral Wolf Spirit Shield, and 1 for defeating Lone Wolf before he summons the Ancestral Wolf Spirit for the second time. Just like with Hiljetta, the medals are an element and damage checks. In order to break Ancestral Wolf Spirit Shield, you have to apply Pyro or Electra to the Lone Wolf himself, and then swirl it to the Ancestral Wolf. As for the damage checks, here are some general tips when dealing with Valiant Chronicles targets. Firstly, if you find yourself lacking just a little bit of damage, you can use food and potions to boost your team. Secondly, you can play around the fact that you are fighting overworld enemies, and utilize rain to your advantage. Keep in mind that anime characters will prioritize Hydro when swirling, so it will only be useful for Mandagora and Hiljetta. Thirdly, you can lower your war level by 1 to bring bosses' overall stats down. Fourthly, if you have a stronger friend, you can ask them for help while contributing to the fight with characters passing the element check. The good news is that only 7 medals are needed for the avatar frame, so most accounts should be capable of getting it. I hope that you found this video useful, and if you did, please leave me a like and consider subscribing for the future content. I will see you soon. Bye bye!